All right, y'all. We back with another one, Boss Magazine, Backroom
Yes,
podcast, man.
sir.
Jay Coolin in the building.
Yes,
We're here
sir.
with a special guest, man. Just John, man. Say what's up to him.
Hey, what's poppin', y'all? How y'all doing, man? I go by the name of Just John from Miramar, Florida. We here at Power Pleighs, bro. It's lit.
It's lit. It's lit. It's lit. Man, shout out Power Please. Shout out that boy, that Field Records. Shout out that boy Ant. Shout out Bass Magazine. Shout out Backroom Pa. Shout out Just John. But let's fuck it. Let's get started. Tell us
Shout out
about
High Power as well.
Shout
man.
out High Power. Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. Shout out everybody that's here, man. Tell us
Shout out.
to get a little started. Tell us about your journey, man. How you got started in the poetry and everything. You feel me?
Yeah, man. I tell people this all the time. I really was writing from young. My brother was an engineer, producer from South Florida, worked with people like Denzel Curry. My dad was a DJ, so I had a studio in the crib. So I was always making songs. But what transitioned me to poetry was I was in high school, and long story short, I had this poetry club teacher named Miss Clarendon at Miramar, and she kept running me down every day like, damn, bro, come check this out. We used to like freestyle and lunch and shit. And she was like, man, come check this poetry out. You gonna love it. And I thought it was like roses are red, violets are blue type. But then I seen like she made me go to this field trip, and I seen other people like me. They was beatboxing on during lunch. They was freestyling. They was rapping, and it kind of changed my perception of poetry. So from there, I ended up a part of the poetry team, and we won our first year. You feel me? I was a part of the team. So from there, it just was like, all right, I could do this for real, you know?
Okay, so I want to ask you from that, what was like your inspiration, or really like if somebody just goes to your poet, is there a message that you try to portray? And if so, you could tell us about it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, every poem's different depending on the vibe or the inspiration. You know, I like to draw from experiences that I've gone through, so relationships, anything that I might have been through that I could talk about or express. I think poetry, for me, has the power to change the world, like just the art and what we talk about. And I want my poetry to be very solution-based. I want it to just not only to just tell a story and to captivate people, but also to be like, for a greater cause, right? People get something from it. They either feel like they healing or they feel like they've been through something I've been through, So I just try to be as raw and as honest in myself as possible. Feel me?
I want to. You said something earlier about your teacher basically running you down. I feel like everybody that's in the creative space, we've ran into someone who's been on our ass about, trying something different, or like, if you stick to this, bro, this can really change your life. But we don't necessarily always, we may look back, like as we're going through it, like, man, this teacher's crazy, man, why she always owe me and shit like that. But as you get older, you start seeing your teachers around, man, and you thank them for thank them for pulling you into what you got into, man. So I just want to tap into like, just tap into like that experience, man, with your teacher, man, because that's important. We don't really see that anymore because they took things out of school, those programs to uplift children, to things like that, man. So just like a simple shout out or something like that. I don't know.
Facts. I mean, yeah, definitely shout out to Miss Clarendon, man, because I wouldn't be where I'm at without her. Also, I want to say, I'm writing a poem about this, so it's funny. Long story short, I'm a mentor now myself, so if I didn't have that program to instill that in me, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So now I'm that person for those kids that may not have that person they could reach out to, or to motivate them to be an artist or an entrepreneur, or just to tell them like they can get through whatever challenges they may be facing. So that's part of the work I do aside from just the creative, my own stuff. So I feel like I'm a type of person that I want to give back while I'm still doing shit. Like, I don't want to wait till I make it to then give back to where I'm from. You feel me? So
Appreciate that, man. That's very important. Just to hear it and just to be somebody that actually doing it. I definitely want to talk about just because you're very. I've looked at your Instagram page. I've heard of you before, just through hostings and how like you get everybody in the mood, man. And then to find out that you do poetry and things like that, it's like a whole nother branch on the tree. Talk about what else you do.
oh man, all right, we gonna talk about it now. I'm saying, I do a lot. So I'm an event curator. I got an event coming up for 420. If y'all want to check that out, come through. Just hit my phone. We can talk about it. But it's called Sensual Saturdays. It's a poetry and wine experience. I host events. I've done weddings. I do, birthday parties. You feel me? Any type of hosting, or emceeing on the mic. I act, so I haven't done any like principal experience role besides like a couple background and stuff like that. but I feel like I want to eventually be in a movie or maybe like screenplay a. My goal is to y'all seen the Vince Staples show?
Yeah, yeah. I seen
My
that.
goal
That
is
shit's
to
dope.
kind of do that with Just John, like create some
Okay.
sort of, I guess, sitcom, if you will, with my name and my life. So that's my goal. You feel me?
So, I mean, for me, I'm pretty much just good. But I was just gonna, no, I was just gonna ask you, like, if you, is there anybody you want to shout out, or anybody that was? I think I asked you this, but I don't know if you answered. But is there any special inspiration that got you to where you are, even mentally, or even just with the craft?
I got so many things I want to say. Shout out to y'all boys for sure, Jay Terry, my boy Alex for doing this, man. This is an inspiration. I feel like this is really dope. So thank y'all, Power Plays, etc. The whole event. Better Days Club because they bringing people together in the community. Like I want to support so many people that's doing this work for real. And you said something else. You said shout outs, but also inspiration. Y'all heard that new J. Cole?
Oh boy, we can get that's another. That's
That
a.
boy- that
Boy, we
boy-
don't got enough time for that. We
You
don't got.
feel me? Hey, we gonna have to talk offline, bro. But that he can't delete that. Might delete later. Nah,
yeah, he can't delete
that boy
that for
going
sure.
crazy. So just hearing stuff like that is kind of like reviving, like the fire in me to keep going. You know, people say hip hop is dead. I think that shit cap. It all depends on what we want to talk about as artists and how we
And
want
who
to
you're
tell our
listening to.
story and who you're listening to, right? So I think we just gotta push the culture forward. And people gonna try to always like damage or destroy the empires we create. But as long as we power through and we see the mission and the purpose, I feel like we gonna be straight. You know what I mean?
So I got one last one. Definitely want to shout out Better Days Club for sure. You do something with them. You just did something with them called Pen and Paper, correct? So definitely talk about how that came about.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out my boy Alexander Crowley. He was a part of the poetry club team that I was with. Yeah, so we went to Miramar. He's 2 years younger than me, so he was coming up when I was a part of it. So he got to really see it from me, and then he carried the baton forward the next year. And Alex, my boy, man, he doing amazing things. He really got me on board with Better Days Club, and we just been rocking. We do a lot of different mediums. We do something called Hit the Glass that'll be coming out soon, which is kind of like a, you know, I give y'all a little. It's like interactive audience, crowd engaging type of show. And then we doing, like I said, Pen and Paper came out from their inspiration of just gathering poets and artists in the community to kind of just have a multimedia outlet for artists to promote their content, whatever poems they got, whatever songs, and that's what they doing. So they really asked me to be a part of what they had already had going on. So yeah.
Hey man, we appreciate your time.
Before we go, I just wanted to ask you one last question. So if you could put your message into a sentence, I don't know if that's a little bit too but what is your message? And then, you could tell the people where they can find you and everything like that.
For sure, yeah, for sure. My name is Just John. You can find me on all social media at Just John. You can find me on Instagram, Just John IG. You can find all my stuff from there. And if I had to say what's my mission or my message in a sentence, I just feel like poetry can change the world. If you really tell your story and you just are open and honest about who you are and your experiences, it might impact the person next to you, for sure.
Thanks, man. Appreciate your time, bro.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Shout out to Just John. Let's
Yes,
get
sir.
it.
Boss
Yes,
Magazine,
sir.
Backroom Podcast, Just John, my bad.
Shout out B Blanco.